Welcome to GenX Journeys, the podcast that's all about rediscovering, reinventing, and thriving. I'm your host, Paul Stroessner, and if you're part of Generation X, this show's for you. We dive into real stories of resilience, reinvention, and personal growth, all while celebrating the past and charging full speed into the future. Whether it's nostalgia-fueled throwbacks, inspiring conversations, or motivation to help you level up, GenX Journeys is here to remind you your best days are not behind you. They're happening right now, and you're just getting started. So let's get into it. Hey everybody, let's be honest. The calendar says it's spring, but depending on where you live, it might still feel like winter. Like this morning in New England where I am, I went outside and it was still in the 30s, so it didn't really feel like spring to me. And that's a pretty good metaphor for how a lot of us feel inside. You want to move forward and you want to shake off the heaviness, the grayness, the sameness in your current season, but everything still feels cold, still stuck, still waiting for the spark. So today we're talking about how to spring forward even when the weather or your life or your mindset feels like it's dragging behind. So as Gen Xers, we've been through some stuff. We're not 20 anymore, so the weight we carry, literally and figuratively, like such as responsibilities, regrets, routines, it can feel like layers of winter that never quite melt. And let's face it, things don't bounce back the way they used to. You pull a muscle now and it's like, well, I guess I'll have to live with this the rest of my life. Or gaining 10 pounds in your 40s or 50s, easy. Yeah, it's really easy to, you just look at food and you put it on. But losing it, that too might take the rest of your life. I mean, it takes 3 weeks to gain it and a solid year to get it off if you're lucky. And don't even get me started on recovery time, especially with my running and workouts. You know, you have your workouts, your stress, and just staying up too late watching old reruns, you know, that's tough to recover from. And let's be honest, staying up late at home is the new partying for us. Because if we actually do go out and party, which, you know, I do sometimes, that could take the rest of your life to recover from. Well, or at least like a 2 full days of sleep and a gallon of water and a chiropractor appointment. But here's the thing about spring. It doesn't arrive at one big dramatic moment. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. And it just comes up gradually. Tiny shifts, subtle warmth, a little more light every day, which I'm liking. And that's how we grow, too. We don't have to bloom overnight. We just need to make room for movement, whatever that looks like right now. There's signs that you're ready to spring forward, even if you don't feel like it. So let's be real. Sometimes we don't feel ready for a change. We're tired, we're overwhelmed, we're knee-deep in routines that don't exactly scream fresh start, but you might be more ready than you think. Have you been feeling kind of frustrated but can't quite put your finger on why? Maybe you've been snapping at little things like laundry not being folded or someone chewing too loud, or you keep opening the fridge like the answer's in there but nothing sounds good. You start a project and abandon it 10 minutes in because what's the point? And you're doom scrolling past midnight or any time of the day and you're annoyed with yourself but still scrolling anyway. Or you might walk into a room and forget why you went in and then suddenly you're irrationally mad at the room. So you're not exactly sad, but you're not feeling angry exactly. But something just feels off, like your soul is itching to move but it doesn't know where to go. Another sign that you're ready to spring forward is that you're fantasizing about more, but talking yourself out of it. You catch yourself daydreaming about writing that book, starting that podcast, taking a trip, switching careers, and then immediately shutting it down with, who am I to do that? Or now's not that time. And that's a push-pull. You know, it's a restlessness. It's not a flaw. It's a flare from your inner compass. And another sign that you're getting ready to spring forward is that you're getting hints, you know, signs, conversations, memories, or something that still stirs you. Maybe a song hits differently, or maybe a friend says something that lingers. Maybe you keep thinking about a version of you that felt more alive, more passionate, more you. And those aren't coincidences. That's your internal spring stirring. You're not stuck. You're percolating. You're warming up. And the fact that you're listening to this right now, that's not an accident. That's movement. All right. And now there's 5 ways I have to spring forward without overhauling your life. And we talked about that restless energy, the signs that something inside you is waking up. Now let's talk about what to do with that energy, because you don't need to burn down your whole life to start from scratch. You don't need to quit your job, move to Bali, or alphabetize that terrifying junk drawer. You just need a nudge, a gentle shift, a little forward motion. So here's 5 ways to spring forward without overhauling your life. You declutter something small. Not your whole house, not your inbox, just one drawer or one folder or one little corner of your mind. Maybe it's that everything drawer in the kitchen that's half batteries, half chaos, or maybe it's your desktop, all those icons you haven't clicked in months. And maybe it's just sitting quietly for 5 minutes and asking yourself, what's one thing I'm carrying mentally that I can let go of today? Clean space makes room for a clean thought. And number 2 is move your body. No need to sign up for a marathon unless that's your thing. Shout out to my fellow Gen X runners out there. But even a short walk can disrupt that mental fog. Stretch, dance, while you listen to music. You take the stairs instead of the elevator at work. And put on some music and do a victory lap around the house like you just won the Legends of the Hidden Temple. You already know how movement shifts energy. You don't need a gym. You just need to start. And see, number 3, understand that what we feed our minds matters. Take a second to scroll your feed. Are you seeing things that lift you up? Or are they things that wear you down? Are you following people who make you feel inspired or inadequate? Unfollow the draining, follow the inspiring. Listen to a podcast that fires you up, watch something that makes you laugh or makes you think. And here's something we don't always realize. You're the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. And that doesn't just mean your coworkers or family or friends. It includes the voices you hear every day, the podcasters, the radio hosts, the people you binge on YouTube or TikTok, and even the energy of the shows you watch. So choose wisely. If someone makes you feel like anything is possible, keep them in your circle, even if they don't know they're in it. And if someone is constantly bringing you down, you don't owe them your energy. Fresh fuel equals fresh fire. And number 4, reconnect with one past joy. What's something that used to light you up, but got left behind in the chaos of adulting? A song that makes you sing at full volume in the car? A hobby you used to love, like painting, writing, like me, playing guitar, or even building Lego sets. A place that brought you peace, the library, the beach, your old neighborhood. I've done all 3. Or maybe it's a feeling like curiosity, silliness, or creativity that you haven't felt in a while. And when was the last time you let yourself play just for the sake of it? To do something not because it was productive, but because it made you feel alive. This isn't about going back in time. It's about remembering who you were and inviting some of that spark back into your life now. You don't need to be good at it. You don't need to make it Instagram worthy. You just need to reconnect. Let it be messy. Let it be weird. Let it be yours. And number 5, set a micro goal. I'm talking tiny, something so small you can't fail. 1 page of a journal, 1 push-up, 1 email or text you've been putting off, 1 song played on your old keyboard. The goal isn't to succeed. The goal is to create momentum. Because once you start moving, it gets easier to keep going. And before you know it, you're not just thawing, you're blooming. So here's the truth. Nature doesn't ask permission to bloom. It just does. It doesn't wait for the perfect temperature. It doesn't hold a committee meeting to decide if now's a good time. It just knows the light is returning, so it rises. And so can you. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to begin. You just take that first step. You made it through very hard seasons before this one, and every setback, every I can't do this, every moment you thought you were done, and you're still here. which means that you're already stronger than you think. This spring, let's stop waiting for that perfect moment. Let's create one. Let's shake off the frost from the fear and warm up to possibility, because this is your time to rise, to grow, to rediscover your energy, your purpose, your joy. Spring forward not because you have to, but because you can, and because deep down you're ready. Now, if this message stirred something in you, I'd love to hear about it. You reach out to me anytime. You can find me at paul@genxjourneys.net or on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube at GenX Journeys. And if this episode resonated, consider sharing it with a friend who might need that little nudge forward too. So until next time, I just want to thank you so much for listening, and just embrace that past, own the present, and build an epic future. See you soon. And remember,
be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!
Sit, Lizzie, sit. Good dog.